everyone, this is Ngopin, and I am making this video to share with everybody how my experience with the Jucy Van company was. So Jucy is a company from New Zealand, and they convert minivans into mini RVs. Basically, it's a minivan that they've built a bed in the back, but it also converts into seats. So the minivan that we had is called the Trailblazer. Like a lot of cars, they have the driver's seat, the passenger seat, and then they have the back seat, the farthest back seat, where in a minivan you could put two kids in there, strap them into the seatbelt. But what Jucy did was take out the middle seat and then build like this convertible bed platform thing on. So a little backstory about me is that I really want to try living in a van or living in a vehicle as a means of saving money so then I can buy a house. And I also want to live in a place where I own it and not like giving money to landlords that I may not like or may not know, therefore kind of like don't really know if I like them or not. So that's what I've been trying to do, and renting this Jucy mini van camper was a way for me to try out what living in a car with a bed would be like. So with this minivan camper conversion, if somebody who's looking into van life or wants to try it out doesn't need a lot of space, because this minivan, even though it's probably the smallest that I would recommend. I've slept in an SUV before, and that is small. Primarily, I think because this minivan is the stow and go, so it has storage underneath the floor of the minivan. There was enough storage for me, partner, and our friend when we later went to a meditation retreat. So if you don't need a lot of space, this might be for you. If you are looking to live simply and maybe roughing it, this is also probably for you. And I'd say that Jucy's prices are pretty economical. So that's cool about the Jucy van. In the back, in the trunk area, it has like a kitchen kind of setup. So it has a pump sink. And it also had two stoves. I think there's another video that goes over like all of the logistics of the Jucy van pretty well, even though the person who was doing it, moeyday, was renting the van from New Zealand. I appreciated the fact that they provided plates and pots and a tea kettle, and even though I didn't really use any of it, I feel like it just gives like a homier type of feel. Basically, the people are trying to take care of us. So I think the only downside of the Jucy van is you would need to exit the van in order to access whatever was underneath the kitchen. So if you want to get something from the refrigerator, any of the pots and pans, or any of the plates and cups. But it does, so for the minivan, the trunk does fold up like this, so it kind of provides like an awning for you. But other than that, I thought the kitchen was really cute. And I guess the only downside to having to exit the vehicle is that you're not very stealthy, although the paint job, I think, kind of gives it away. So are there any downsides to the Jucy experience? Not really. Just a couple notes that I made was that I felt like the Jucy van was an older model. Like, obviously these vans have been around, and so things kind of just seem worn down. Like the bed seat thing was worn down, the steering wheel was a little sticky, and I feel like it might have felt a little bit better if it was cleaned more. But I'm probably just talking about scrubbing the seats, which is really unnecessary. They've just been lived in. Can't really avoid that. I think the table that was in the van was a little chipped. It was nice to see that everything was kind of custom made, but the way that the table was made, I don't think was really built to last, because on the sides it was a little thin. And when I assembled it, the table was kind of rickety, which is surprising because it felt like it wasn't secure, but when I tried to disassemble it to store it away, it was really stuck in there. Another thing was that I really appreciated the blinds. Like, I can't imagine like sleeping in a car that didn't cover the windows, because I don't like the feeling that people are able to look at me while I'm sleeping like strangers. So they had blinds, except some of the blinds that were held up by suction cups didn't work. And I'm not sure if it's just that the suction cup or the window has a little bit of dust, so it kind of makes the whole suction cup ordeal obsolete, or it just renders it useless. But that was something that we had to improvise, and improvise we did. And the car stands out. The car that we got was, I'd say, a traditional Jucy car. It's bright green and purple, and it got a lot of attention when we were at the meditation retreat, for sure. I mean, I think it was also probably there was a tent on top of a minivan. And so I guess it would be cool, because all of this attention going to your rental, it gave me an opportunity to give people a referral code, and I'm not even sure if it will work. I just saw it on a brochure in the how-to manual where it's like, you can refer friends with your reference number and we'll give you a discount. Also, having a backup cam would be nice, but it had like this backup aid where it would beep whenever you got close to another car or a thing or a curb. I think that's basically the only things that I would change, and they're all like not deal breakers. They're just like little details that I would have liked, but I would. Overall, the experience was great, and I would rent from them again. Hopefully during the low seasons, because when I had rented from Jucy, it was like $40 per night in March, the last week of March, and then I was thinking maybe I'll just rent from them again. And when I went onto the site, the price was then $78, $80 per night. So that was a little intense. My experience with Jucy was great because, I mean, the van is obviously very legit. The product, I mean, it didn't break down on us, and they provided everything that we needed. I felt very taken care of. And to top that off, I had paid for the Wavefarer, or I had reserved the Wavefarer, but they gave us the Trailblazer, which gives you the tent on top, and nothing broke down. So I'm very, very happy about that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped a little bit at least. And if you could, please help me out by subscribing, get me to 100 so then I can make a customized URL. And if not, maybe you could drop a thumbs up. Thanks so much. Oh my gosh, I'm in another camper van and people are checking out the paint job. Of course.